up, friends? We are back talking more PGA Tour golf here at oddschecker.com/US. Got you covered week in, week out on all the golf action. I am back talking PGA props with my guy at Tour Picks, Joe Idone. Joe, what is up, my man? Are you set for Wells Fargo?
Yeah, dude, I'm ready. I appreciate you having me back for another week. Hoping to make this sort of a regular thing with you here. Hopefully these drop Wednesday morning sometime. So we'll get it out to the people. Always fun talking some props. And yes, to answer your question, I'm ready for Wells Fargo. How about you?
Yeah, ready for Wells Fargo. The tour for a moment kind of feels like it's finding its equilibrium, but we'll be back at Bunny Ranch next week, and then all systems go for another major. So we are here. The heart of the season, I guess, is we are on the precipice of it. I should say, and hopefully I can use this opportunity at the Wells Fargo this week to get off the mat. Let's waste no more time. Before that, smash that like button, leave a comment, tell me your favorite prop pick this week. I'll get it going right away. I'm going to step in front of you, Joe. I'm going to step in front of you with a head-to-head here. I'm going to mix up where we're going, but I'm starting with a head-to-head. It's plus 100. I am taking Gary Woodland over Ty Hatton, who I know you might be plugging in just a moment. I'll tee you up for. But for me, Woodland over Hatton. I have played Woodland to win this week. I took advantage of one of the many bet boost offerings that this new landscape in sports betting, golf betting has represented. So 50-1 for me on the Woodland outright, and at a straight plus 100 to take on Hatton. The inconsistencies off the tee for Ty could rear its ugly head this week. I do fear him. He hasn't been able to put it all together in the same moment. It's either the putter bailing out the approach or the approach sort of bailing out the putter for Hatton, but it has just been the absolute model of consistency for Gary Woodland this year. So, and what I believe is an ideal course fit. So I'm stepping in front of your top 40 Ty Hatton prediction with a Gary Woodland head-to-head over Ty Hatton. Tell me how you're going to cash your top 40. Well, I'm going to have to hope Woodland inches out in front of him.
Well, really all I need to do is have Hatton finish like 38th here, and Gary can top 10 his way, maybe win this week. You got the nice little odds booth, and we're both winners. Listen, this was just for me, Geoff, a pure numbers play and sort of trying to utilize that odds checker grid. Ty Hatton is minus 220 to top 40 over at DraftKings Sportsbook. You hop on over to FanDuel Sportsbook, and he's plus 105. So a massive sort of shift in terms of expected value there. I like the plus number on the top 40 for Hatton. I do think this course fits him relatively well. Disappointing finish at the Masters, but 4 of his other 5 starts have all easily broken that top 40 barrier. I don't feel like it feels like he's kind of in this, man, like Ty Hatton, like he's not playing great. But you look at the finishes, pretty good at Arnold Palmer. I think he finished tied for second there, and easily within that top 40 barrier, like I mentioned, every other tournament in his last 5, except for the Masters. I'm going to take the plus money and an advantageous line that FanDuel has left hanging for us there.
Listen, while I've stepped in front of Ty in a head-to-head, if he finds his connect this week, wouldn't shock me one bit at all. He's a guy I think I've bet in the last like 4 majors, so be nice to see him, I guess, getting into form as we lead into another major. You didn't just have one top 40, Joe. You had 2. The next one, Brian Harmon, you located him on that grid at plus 125. Sell me on Harmon.
Yeah, here's the sell on him. Hits a ton of fairways, right? I think the importance here can't be understated this week, a la last week, how we wanted guys who were really going to push it out there pretty far. That narrative sort of reigned true when you looked at the leaderboard at the end of the day. All things would indicate this tournament is very much positional off the tee. He tends to thrive in those type of environments. Top 10 in the last 24 rounds in terms of strokes gained off the tee and driving accuracy. Hits a ton of fairways. And while this is a good course fit for him, he actually plays difficult courses relatively well. He's got a decent track record in some U.S. Opens that are 7,700 yards that you would think he has no business contending at. When I sort of sorted and filtered out based on difficult scoring conditions. Brian Harmon, believe it or not, ranks second in the field in terms of strokes gained on par fours. We get an abundance of those this week with only 2 par fives on the card. I think he finds himself in the short grass plenty of times this week, which should allow him to do some scoring out there. You're not going to need a ton of it. So being in the optimal position off the tee helps you mitigate bogey, help you provide a couple scoring opportunities. Harmon, top 40s, plus 125 over on Bet365.
I myself am going to make a dip into this top 40 market. I really enjoy doing so. There are books out there that even let you make some fun top 40, top 30 parlays, which can get real greasy. But I spoke about him last week, Joe, and I promise you, friends, I am going to involve Anirban Lahiri in my prop picks until he kicks me off of the horse. This guy, listen, golf is a grind. Golf is a mental game. And when you get in the doldrums of it, it can be a very tough place for some veteran professionals. But when you come out the other side and find a happy place, you can find that form. And I don't think there's a guy with a more content peace of mind right now on tour than Anirban. That second place at the Players not only loaded up the bank account and let him take a deep breath. We followed that up with fantastic top 20 finishes at the Heritage. Another beautiful, I think 15th or 16th last week out in Mexico. He is just playing, I don't want to put too much into where he is mentally, but I think it is a really big deal. And I'm quite confident he's going to keep cashing us these props. Again, until Anirban kicks me off the horse, I am going to continue to ride him in prop markets. Would love to see a win. I'm not betting it. I think it's still an enormous ask for him. And it's, I don't want to put it past him, but I'm not there. But again, Anirban, until you push me into the pool, buddy, I'm sticking on it. I'll give you my last one here, Joe, and then I know you got a head-to-head to close us out.
Do it.
Top 20, Sep Straka, plus 290. I have bet Straka to win this thing since he has won the Honda Classic. There have been multiple top 10 finishes. This is not a guy that won a PGA Tour event, his first event, and took a deep breath at the ability, A, to set himself up financially, B, to set himself up with a schedule. He has just continued to ride this form. The only downside about any Sep Straka involvement this week is there's no Shane Lowry. Bad luck for him to take advantage of in the field this week. But iron play continues, or anything you'll read about the event this week, it's that iron play around the green. I just really am a believer in Sep, and I'm going for that top 20 plus 290 to send us out. Joe, you have got a head-to-head. I started with one when you joined me here a few minutes ago. You're going to send us out with one.
Yeah, I'll send us home with one. And to kind of touch on your point with Lahiri and Sep Straka, confidence is a hell of a drug in golf, Geoff. When it's going right for you, a lot of things seem to fall into place. When it's going wrong, you don't want to be on the other side of that as well. So I'm going to take a matchup here. Cam Young, the young stud, over Webb Simpson, the sort of the stalwart. Cam Young is minus 105 at the moment. This is simply a tale of a young kid playing with optimal confidence right now. Strokes gained off the tee ranks number 1 in the model over the last 24 rounds. Webb Simpson, 88th. Webb's making way too many bogeys right now, Geoff. It's pretty simple that he has apparently lost his confidence, not only off the tee, but short game, around the green. And Cam's just playing fantastic. He's familiar with Northeast golf. He's familiar with this time of the year. Got both of his Korn Ferry wins last year during sort of this summer swing of the Korn Ferry Tour. Father's obviously the pro over there at Sleepy Hollow, which is a very similar, difficult, bent grass Northeast track where he grew up playing. His region of the country, his time of the year, his form is great. I'm going to take him to beat Webb Simpson this week, minus 105. So he's technically a slight underdog in the matchup. Love Cam Young this week.
Yeah, I am just falling in love with Cam Young. It was in deep consideration for betting him for the win this week. I might tell you on that one because Webb still seems like a guy worthy of being picked on. You even just saw how the weekend worked for him at Heritage. Even his comfort courses don't seem too comfortable the way he's playing. And Cam Young just seems like the total package. The driving, the approach, the putting. So really excited about that one, Joe. Hopefully we can give some winners this week to supplement. You'll hit an outright winner, my friends out there. I have been struggling, but it's the prop picks that help keep me off the mat, keep this thing going. So let's have another big one. We'll be at what is it? Bunny Ranch? Oh no. Oh geez. What is next week?
Craig Ranch, right?
Craig Ranch, Bunny Ranch. That's
yeah,
that's HBO.
Craig Ranch. Then we're at Southern Hills, so that should be an exciting one. We might get Phil and Tiger. We get all the stars back. We finally get a star-studded field. So we're in a good swing right now in golf.
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to put you on the spot. Southern Hills. Any sort of like early ideas or leans or market watching, odds checker grid watching for maybe somebody going in the opposite direction up the odds board?
Yeah, one guy that I'm paying attention to, and I looked a little deeper into what happened at the Zurich, but Patrick Cantlay, I was looking at some numbers actually earlier this week. You can still get like 26, 28 to 1 there. Form is trending back in the right direction. The irons seem to have totally returned at the Masters. He sort of, I thought, carried that Xander Cantlay team for the most part. I mean, Xander did some work, but he put in the bulk of the heavy lifting in that one. So back in the winner's circle, confidence seems to be back with the irons. And we know, number one player in the world this time last year. He was the player of the year, won 3 times. So he can do it all. You're catching a decent high number in the upper 20s on him right now is out there.
I like that a lot as someone who bet Cantlay at the Masters, and you could just take away that little blip, the players and that other event that I think piggybacked with the players, and just make the case. I think it was anyhow, you could just make the case. You look at it, even going back to Phoenix, all the close finishes. Nobody probably has a better overall finish rate than Patrick Cantlay this year outside of Scotty Scheffler. So I like where your head is at there, Joe. Can't wait to be talking Southern Hills with you and the team here over at oddschecker.com/US. We'll be back next week from Craig Ranch. Hopefully we can roll these winners into more winners next week, and we'll be all stacked for the PGA Championship. I'm Geoff Fienberg for my guy, Joe Idone at Tour Picks. Hit him up. Smash that like button. We'll be back next week.